Good morning. What's up? Check, check, check. Let me check the volume here. Check. Are we on? All right. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay. Is the audio working now? All right. I think we are working. Interesting. All right, folks. Let's get to it. So, check, check. All right. Let's get to it. So I got this email from Peace Action, which is interesting. An interesting organization. Now, are they CIA related in this game? It's quite possible, right? Anything is possible, proving otherwise. It's possible they're not. I'd say the odds are more likely on. When you look at their ties to academic elites, when you look at their ties to all kinds of stuff, but even if they are CIA, does that mean they're necessarily bad? Does it mean they're necessarily good? Neither side is true, right? They could be good, could be bad, right? Could be CIA, might not be CIA. Some of the things that make me feel they might be CIA. Okay, so they had like a weird. They showed up with Noda Tool to some kind of like some Korean thing. I know the Koreans have been already, right? Because I saw. I think I may have even recorded like my interactions with Koreans at the event, and they don't want a lot of them. One of them leaders had to ask for permission if she was allowed to speak to me. I do have that on film. I haven't published that yet. I might even go fish for that. I have a lot of documentation, but she did not ask the Peace Action. She asked her director of Noda Tool, which was interesting. So, anyways, when I was at this protest, there's not a lot of white people there. I'll be honest. There's not a lot of there's a lot of Palestinians like super hot, and it is relevant. And I'm glad that they are getting involved to an extent. There is, unfortunately, there are some, people making careers off of, the suffering, and there's certain very essential elements that are not getting tapped. So we're gonna use this. We're gonna address that in this email. So I don't want to have to repeat it later when I talk about it. But here's an interesting thing they're saying, though, right? The Peace Action Education Fund says nuclear deterrence continues to dominate international relations, yet there is no proof it ever worked, nor that it ever will. That's interesting. Because I don't have I actually share a similar position, right? You can tell people not to have nukes. You can start to sanction them. You can start to starve them. This is really I think, quite relevant for North Korea, right? You can tell them that they gotta, accept their place in society, and they're not worth as much, and allow themselves to be fucked over and have their government manipulated with the Gwangju massacre, Jeju massacre, right? Yeah, other, right? We're just gonna kill off large segments of the population if you do not comply. Okay, this is. And by the way, we also need to take away your nukes now too. Like, this is not really what those people are going to do is, if they're like me, and they are like me, being Koreans, right? They're going to say, "Fuck off." You just victimized us. Now you want to strip away our weapons. I'm gonna get nukes right the fuck now, and that's what they did. So, if you build a relationship of trust, and if you build a relationship of responsibility. And then I think that, you might say, you know what, like, these things are dangerous. I really don't want them around. I would like to have a peaceful thing, but I can't trust you. That's the huge problem. So, debunking deterrence theory and pursuing global nuclear disarmament. So, deterrence. Let's take a look at what nuclear deterrence is right quick. Yeah, because a lot of people might think that for too long, deterrence theory. Let's look up deterrence theory, right? Because there's different words can be twisted in their meaning and all kinds of other stuff. I looked up all the emails attached for all the speakers, so we're going to be emailing them as well. Criminal penalties do not punish violators, but also discourage other people from committing similar offenses. Okay, I think it's about nuclear, so let's go to nuclear. But I think, wow, are they saying, So deterrence could mean a lot of things. It could mean exactly what I just said, right? Building trust. Maybe they don't want to build trust. What is this? Okay, nuclear deterrence theory is a military strategy in international relations that states that nations with nuclear weapons are unlikely to be attacked, especially with nuclear weapons because of the threat of retaliation. Well, I think that's exactly what North Korea is doing, and the U.S. Has been used as a legitimizing foundation for U.S. and global nuclear weapons policy. Deterrence is rarely examined, let alone questioned, but is often waved around like a verbal magic wand to justify extremely dangerous and exorbitant policies that threaten life on Earth. Okay, I am interested in attending this, but we see who's speaking here, right? This is actually relevant because this guy's actually a victim. Former mayor of Hiroshima, Japan. But then we see all the other people here are all white. Okay, they found one guy, and just so you know, Japanese people are extremely polite. They're really don't like to confront people. They might, sometimes they will, but we also know that there's a lot of puppetry going on. Now we have a professor from Harvard, and when I looked her up, this is going to be interesting, right? Yeah, I just looked her up to find her email. So let's look her up and see what she choosing between democracy and doom, and see who they insert into the anti-war movement. Maybe she is from Russia. Maybe, Chernobyl, maybe colored her. Well, that's not even nuclear bombs, right? Has she been the victim of war? I don't think so. Okay? The first thing that she's in the Harvard English department, and her interests are beauty and its relation to justice. Dead serious, right? This is just me. Now look, you can't trust everything Google says because Google will portray, right? Yeah? The algorithm will try to portray you in a certain way. I know that in my YouTube, when people try to search for my, Asian American activism, they're always shown the most, they're shown certain material that, is a little bit more controversial and what people would be less likely to support. And it's possible that because people are clicking on that more because it's more of clickbait, or, could be other things. But to me, beauty and its relation to justice. Okay. So, aesthetics. Interesting. Now, this is New York, New York. Okay. Let's go back to over here. Let's go and take a look at the Harvard English Department. Once again, I have actually made quite a few complaints about the Asian American Studies program at Harvard and say it's highly emasculating, and all the professors are women. I've made this point several times because the fact of the matter is that I'm quite unhappy with it, to tell you the truth. So this is her Harvard, right? Literally her Harvard thing, and beauty and relation justice is the first thing that pops up. So that's really what she's about. Okay. So, and this beauty gives you access, right? Okay. Mayors for Peace, Western States Legal Foundation. This is more interesting to me, right? Maybe because Harvard University is being pumped to the top. This actually makes me more nervous, right? Hopefully this is better, right? Yeah, Mayors for Peace, someone who's actually had an elected position, maybe. Let's go see who this is. Yeah, this is actually someone who I would be more interested in. And, once again, right, yeah, I do think that this guy over here, this mayor of Hiroshima, is actually more... He could talk about, right, the fallout, what happens after the war, nuclear bombs go off, things like that. So that, to me, is more relevant. Okay. By the way, if you know my body of work, you know I'm definitely going to be complaining about Medea Benjamin. In fact, let's see. Has she ever been a mayor? She's a coordinator for Mayors for Peace. Is she a mayor, though? Stemming from an arrest while non-violently blocking the gates to the nuclear lab. Okay. She became, because she was on trial, she became the executive director of Western States Legal Foundation. And, this being arrested is supposed to show like a level of commitment and things like that, but when these protesters, these white protesters get arrested, sometimes they really go through things, but they're not really thrown into the monster den. Or today she continues to organize, speak, and write. Okay, maybe. Abolition 2000. Let's see if she's going to work with me, right? It's okay for white people to be part of the movement. It's not okay for them to replace us. Right? Really, they put the Asian man at the top. We're going to be actually, maybe we're going to be taking this to international courts and showing them and saying, is this legit? Is this something that we could believe in? Member of research policy at Global Zero. Okay, you had a job in the United States. Once again, right, yeah, all the Asians right, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, they are from Asia. Right, Yao Ming, right, yeah. Once you're here in the United States and you go to the United States educational system, you're not allowed to be nobody. Who cares more about war? This is really, right, yeah, a lot of white hippies reliving their glory days. There's a lot of, great white hope shit going on. And they do have an Asian guy there, not Asian American. And as a war victim, right, I'm going to be talking about that in the email. So here we could see that I have, right, yeah, all the Japan guy, right, yeah, Professor Elaine Scary, they're all here. So I'm going to be emailing all the panelists and also the president of, a guy running for president of Namibia. Okay, let's get to the email. Before you, I just want to see right quick if what is his name? Jackie Cabasso. Okay. Let's see if these people, Jackie Cabasso, it seems like she might. She seems like very similar to. And let's see if she has a relationship with Code Pink, the disgusting organization. I swear to God, I hope not. Probably does though. Yup. I just knew. I just knew it. What is this tie here? Well, this is kind of disgusting. So, I'm telling you right now that Code Pink has been involved with the cover-up, and so let's get to it, right? Okay. I thought this was an interesting discussion. An interesting topic. And just so you know. Oh, let's also email someone, yeah. I actually found some North Korean emails, but interestingly enough, I should do this. I'll just upload this also to the Korean, going down the Korean rabbit hole as well. I did get some bounce backs, right, from .kp, because the thing is that the emails I sent to North Korea, some of them were blocked. I don't doubt, right? Yeah, is Sungin really, is this guy even really, is he a CIA double agent? Could be actually North Korean. There's no diasporic Koreans on this show at all. It's kind of weird. Also, there's a new guy called David Zhang on this thing called China Uncensored. Before they had this Chinese woman named Shelley. They had no Chinese, now they have a Chinese man finally. And I'll keep making an issue of this. I'm starting to have my doubts about I mean, Dermot Hudson does a very, he does keep towing the line pretty faithfully for the North Korean government in his broadcasts, and his answers do seem to line up. So he's very well versed in what they think. So it's going to be interesting to see if he responds to this and what his thoughts are. I am a Korean American, and I am working with some of the longest incarcerated men in New York State and national history. The parents of Gavin Centrone, whose death caused the resignation of the CEO. United States' largest public housing complex. Who else are we bringing? Victim of university administrative abuse. And myself, a generational victim of war. We are ganging up. Notable victims. There's 2 world courts and international agencies, and I have already started to engage. Single country in Africa and Asia. Let's go and put that email. Let's go and put that video in there. Oh, this fucking code packet missed me. Still fucking mad. Okay. I'm gonna tell you they're probably just not gonna answer, but we're gonna actually, right? We're gonna weaponize this against them. Okay? We're definitely gonna fucking weaponize, because I'm so sick of this shit. So sick of this shit. The anti-war movement has been taking advantage. It has been extremely disappointing. And as a generation war victim, Korean War, I ran away from home at the age of 16 due to the extreme violence I faced at home. As a Korean American, I've grown up in a society that will not acknowledge because of the embarrassment I don't. I not even. I think that's our submarine. We starved like Ethiopia. There was no. We are the world. Songs for us in the video. Video of We Are the World. There were no Asians, a term I dislike, or Asian Americans. And in this country, and even in this presentation, only Asians are preferred over Asian Americans. Yao Ming, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. But Asians but are much invisible. And it's worse, it gets worse. At anti-war rallies, such as Rage Against the War Machine, and the Answer Coalition, and Code Pink, you see a lot of older white hippies are reliving their glory days from the 70s, 60s and 70s. As anti-war activists. But at these anti-war rallies, as I have documented, you will not find even white war victims talking about the cultural shock or the brutality that comes after war. Look at look at the ratio of interracial relationships. In this country for Korean Americans. We have been top performers for 50 years, half a decade. But we are not. Why are there no Asian Americans on this panel? Why are there no? Why are there no? You know what I mean? Some people are getting very rich off of this. Like Medea Benjamin, who has been involved with the People's Party, of which I was the New York State coordinator. Huge amounts of money were stolen. States' elected leaders were pushed aside. Corruption and abuse. You look at, what was it again? The Gwangju Massacre. Koreans who were ready for democracy were killed so that leaders were preferred by Western nations could be installed by the U.S. Let's make it fucking the U.S. By the U.S. could be installed. An authoritarian. President in Korea's history. Has been Let's send this also to Manuel Pastrike. The hardships I faced in life, discrimination, and my exclusion from the anti-war movement have led me to actively support deterrence theory. And I plan on getting together my own show that our priorities are not addressed. So the system to challenge the Western promotion of anti-war in a framing that keeps us as lesser than. Yes, you have headlining, but it seems like he was pasted on. This seems like I mentioned Medea Benjamin, right? Did I talk about them being millionaires? Who is now a millionaire? I recently interviewed the president of India. Mm-hmm. Let's go to that one. And and has actually and I'm multiple and interacted with a local, state, and level. I am actually, I'll be taking replacement leaders who are yet by the media attached to Medea Benjamin and her millions of dollars and her supporting infrastructure to silence me. Coalition and to protect the other white millionaires who make money while keeping minorities in their place. Talking about Jim Dore, Rage Against the War Machine, and Brian Becker from the Ants Coalition. And my research showed a tie, that there has been interaction between Jackie Cabasso Code Pink, Medea's organization, Medea Benjamin's organization. Let's go and put that little clip in. justice system. And I am approaching world leaders and international courts. Courts to show democracy. Racism and narrative control going on in the peace movement. The disregard and the long trail of suppression of these issues brought to the very leadership. I am showing how the movement is being emasculated, and how replacement activists are installed to keep the money flowing into some pockets while withholding money, access, and resources from others. This is going to be, let's look at Peace Action New York. Not anti-woman, but do they still have their staff up here? I think they changed it because I made some, I've already confronted them on this. Maybe some black faces at this organization. Maybe even, but it's mostly white. It's okay to it's okay for Bushies to be part of the movement, but it's not okay for them to replace us. Minorities are found. Compliant minorities are found. Who do not speak out. And those who do are shut out. Cut off. Yes, even if we are poor victims. Yep. Where's the staff? They took their pictures off. It's some really attractive women. I mean, I'm not against attractive women, but it can't be just them having the jobs, right? They had some state reps, but they changed this. They changed it up. I could go back and find. Maybe I should, right? Yeah. Let's go back and find it. I'm gonna contact them, right? Yeah. Let's just go to their they probably hadn't fixed all that too. If I go to their Instagram, I'll probably find their founders and the pictures and stuff. Peace Action New York, let's go. Okay. They found some with the hijab over there. And where's the Koreans at? I think this one right here. Yeah, this one right here. Who's this one? They have these comfy lobbying jobs and stuff. Ceasefire, right? Yeah, all this Palestine thing, phone bank, right? Yeah. You see her again? Exactly. She has a high level position. There might be some minorities. She's a minority, but she's what they like. An attractive minority who will not raise any of the issues of exclusion. They had her much more highly featured, right? Yeah, on the actual website before. But when I made an issue about this before, instead of sending me email me back, right? Yeah, they just took her off the page and changed the way that things look, right? Amy Goodman is fucking disgusting. And the Palestinian fight, right? Yeah. Should I take some of these things as well? Like, is this the formula? Right? Like, now they found the white one. Like, it just seems so fucking empty. Fuck on Amy Goodman, I swear to fucking God. Margaret Engel might go to events like this. Go to an event like this and show. But despite repeated emails from myself, she has never responded. And neither has anybody else. Peace Action. There's certain people that are allowed in, are allowed access, and others are denied. An illusion. I would like to call. So now I am weaponizing this against. And now I will weaponize this disregard. As I send all the evidence also include manual pass strike. It's interesting, right? Yeah. Kim Jong-un to keep his nukes. Because the actions of the peace community with their racism and exclusion and sanctioning of my own work and the absence of Asian Americans, particularly men. This is your this one was much more highly featured. Peace Action New York webpage, but after sending emails, instead of responding, her picture was taken off the website. But I knew that her picture was probably not removed from the social media because you have to really be because they're not struggling like me. Not stay awake at night thinking about how to get justice and how to overcome the blackballing and suppression and bullshit. And many other movements are highly emasculated. Minority women are rolled in place, but Asian American men have been the victims of our absence. Now, Medea Benjamin and her friends, and Brian Becker, have been working to install Asian American men into position because they know it looks bad. And banging the drum on this is for years. But the Asian American men, they are raising up in my place. They are raising up in my place. Do not confront these issues. Yup. Let's go to Malcolm X. an unwanted war victim. Literally begging on the streets now. Locked out by these millionaires. They can have a posh midtown is just so fucking frustrating. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We gon' make it. We gon' make it. Go ahead, just throw me in the garbage. Go the fuck ahead. You think I give a shit? I don't. Mm-hmm. I will try to attend if I'm not banned. Okay, let's see if we can get into this. Let's see if we can register for this shit. I'll probably be the only one attending. A lot of things not very well attended. I've been to things, the Korea Society, this kind of thing, right? Yeah. July 9th. DJ L7, DJ7 at DJ7.com. New York City. New York. Okay. So we've got the invite supposedly. We'll see what's up with that. We'll see if they let me in. I've also Hudson. Let's go and get them at Hudson. Yeah. Probably for the Queen American. My own treatment and disregard for my own welfare and their control and the participation of Vicky Benjamin and Brian Becker and the cover-up of the People's Party. Art show that the conditions that led to the Gwangju and Jeju massacres are still being perpetrated. And that the illusion of minority participation is a lie. Let's go back to the Palestinian one. That's fucking hilarious, right? Yeah. Where is it? Okay, let's go back to peace action. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah. Is this another where y'all just jammed? Is this another event where y'all just jammed in a minority? Like, this is not acceptable. look at the emasculation here, right? Yeah, it's evident. Because the movement cares more about white women than it does about war victims. This woman, I've seen her many times, yeah? In terms of New York State, she's like the leader here. Right? Emily Rubino. Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Emily Rubino, but she's not on the website anymore. She's not on the... Let me type in piece of action Emily Rubino. Maybe she's on another one. Maybe, let me just make sure. Let me not, like, you know, because maybe she's on the national site or something. Okay. Women's Peace Fund. She's also at the... Right, yeah. Okay. But why isn't it on the Peace Action website? This is where it was from. It was this exact picture that was on the Peace Action New York State site. But they took her down. Strange. Oh, maybe... Okay, my bad. Okay. Maybe... Okay, so... They used to have her picture up here. Emily Rubino. Okay. They took it down. Okay, so maybe something changed here, though. Okay, let's take a look. Emily Rubino. We're going back to Peace Action New York State site. Okay. This may even be Rubino here. And her picture used to be here. Not that I remembered her name or exactly who she was, right? Once again, Rubino. Looks like she's half Asian and looks like the mother was Asian. This is... White guy front and center. Emily Rubino here, right? Yeah. Black man, so they're diverse. Mostly women. Are there any Asian American men like me? If there are, what is their position and what are they talking about? Are they really, you know, addressing any of the issues that I'm addressing? Oh my God, they have an Asian man here. Holy shit, they have one. Okay. They do have one. Okay, that's better than nothing. Okay. If I reached out to him, would he respond? Is he allowed to respond? Interesting. I have reached out to them before. They do not have any... They do not respond at all to any of my emails. Amy fucking Goodman. Wow, interesting. I could talk more about Amy Goodman, but I'm just not going to. So, anyways, this is a good little, you know... I could put more of my heart and soul into this, but we know they're just probably not going to respond at all. Right? If they stay true to their pattern, maybe one of the panelists will respond. I live streamed. Myself sending the email with commentary if you care to watch. To international courts. To expose the exclusion of people like myself. I do not expect to hear because of emails I've sent in the past and calls I have made that have not been returned. I do not expect any return. From my experience, Korea society and other types of similar organizations. I have field pattern behavior. And white lead. And let's take a look. Malcolm X did say something about white leadership in these organizations. Yep, let's put this right here. Yep. Black slavery is leadership class. Black slavery proximity to capital and fame. And fortune could not be aligned or reconciled with the black masses. He framed them as a group separate from the people they claim to represent. You're goddamn right. Okay. What other peace groups can I send this to? John Cho. You know what side he's on with this, yeah. Let's see, Lucci. He's Haitian. Let's see. You might want to invite. Like this one are engaged in suppressing my voice. I'm out here.
The boots of the international community off of our necks. This place.
Suppressing my voice. I have started to organize separately Tadatoshi Akiba. Okay, let's go and fire this one off. Boom. Okay. Fuck it. Let's throw in. What's her name? What's her name? Let's throw in HQ. What was her name? Cynthia McKinney. Yes. Let's just jam her in there. Jam her in. Just jamming Cynthia McKinney. Let's go. Fuck it. All right. Bam. There we go.